Hi, this is Joseph. Today is Tuesday. It's September 6th. So we're looking at the pound dollar, and I'm going to review a couple of questions or answer a couple of questions that I get on a pretty frequent basis. The first one is, do I trade Forex? This is a Forex pair, obviously, and I want to show you the profitability. So there's a couple of questions that I get. First of all, do I trade Forex? Yes, I do trade Forex. I trade the pound dollar, I trade the euro dollar, and I trade the pound yen. But I don't trade all of them every day. I just trade the best setups that I see. But the thing that I focus in on the most, or just about every single day, all day long, is the US30. I'll show you that trade here in just a moment. Now, the next question is how much profit is available, or how much profit could you make if you're going to be copying my trades with the trade copier per trade. So people are asking, how much money could I make on every trade? Well, that really depends on you. That depends on the size of the trading account, and it depends on the lot size that you want to use. So I'm going to explain a few things here so that hopefully you'll get a better idea of how you have control over the lot sizing and the leverage that you decide to use when you use my trade copier. So whenever I execute a trade on my platform, if you use a fixed lot setting with the trade copier, that means that whatever lot size that you specify, the trade copier will only execute that lot size. So let's say you want to execute a 1.0 lot, you put that in the trade copier. Now, if you need assistance with that, we can also help you. I've got an assistant. His name is Michael. Me or Michael, we can go on TeamViewer. What that means is that we can log onto your computer and we can connect your funded account or your live personal trading account, whichever one you decide to use my trade copier for, and we can connect your account to the trade copier and we can help you set up the lot size. But you have to make that ultimate decision about what lot size you want. So again, if you want to have the trade copier execute a 1.0 lot size and I trade a 1.0 lot size, well, that would be okay, right? And then at some point, if I go up, let's say I go to 2.0, so you can see what this one, on this particular account, you can see how much money I made on this trade. So you can see the lot size was 1.0. Now, if I change it on the next trade here on the pound dollar and I take a 2.0 lot size position, if you specify a fixed lot size inside of the trade copier at 1.0, it'll only execute the 1.0 for you. You never have to worry about it. Even if I change it, if I go smaller than 1.0 or if I go larger than 1.0, if you use a fixed lot size setting inside of the trade copier, it will always execute that lot size that you set up. And you can always change it. That's the other thing. You can always change the lot size. Now, again, this is a relatively small trading account, but I wanted to show you because this is another question that I get. How much money could I make on a trade? So this one trade right here, you can see where I entered the trade here on the pound dollar. I shorted the pound dollar. So this was an entry at 1.1566 and I closed it out at 1.1536. Not a bad trade, but it resulted in $294 with a 1.0 lot size. So again, this is a relatively small trading account. If I was using, let's say, a 100K account or a 500K account, you could imagine, I mean, you could scale it up and just do the math and you could figure out what the profits would be on the trade. So the larger the trading account, obviously the larger the profits, but this isn't bad. And this is sort of a typical trade. I mean, you know, a 25, 30, maybe a 40-point move in Forex isn't bad. It's a decent trade, and that's what you could expect on a trading account this size. So if you're going to get a trading account approximately this size, this is what you could expect whenever I take some of these trades. Now, I can't say that every one of my Forex trades is going to net 30 pips, 20 pips, or 40 pips. It really depends, but generally that's what I'm trying for. I'm not trying to scalp. So if I see a trade setup, I want it to pay. You know what I mean? If I'm going to be using a 20-point stop loss, well, I certainly want it to at least give me 20 pips in profit, but I'd like to see it hit 40 pips, 50 pips, 60 pips. Now, let me show you another trade. Now, just for a comparison, I want to show you this US30 trade. This is a 1-minute time frame, but the setup initially this morning when I took this trade, but the 1-minute chart was where I focused in on, and I was able to get a little spring right here. So, and this was only just a little over 100 points, which wasn't a bad move on the US30. But I want to show you what I'm doing here. So The other thing that I want you to understand is that I use a relatively small stop loss whenever I can get away with it. I don't want to use a 200, 300, 400 point stop loss. I see a lot of people that trade off of a 4-hour time frame, and then people that are considering using my trade copier, they're wondering, wow, I hope Joseph isn't using like a 500 point stop loss or a 900 point stop loss. Well, I see setups on the 4-hour time frame too. But what I do is I go down to a smaller time frame, and I don't like using anything larger than a 100 point stop loss on US30, especially because how aggressive it is. It can move really fast. We all know that. And that is one of the reasons why I'm very, very careful and very cautious. I love trading US30, but I know that it's a beast, and I know that it can reverse quickly, or some of these pullbacks like this can happen relatively fast. So I've got to protect myself. And I've got to be very, very accurate with my stop loss placement. This was a 30, 35, 36, about a 36 point stop loss on this trade right here. So this is the trade. Again, using a 1.0 lot size, notice the difference. This was a 100 point move, and that's relatively small with US30. And then the payout was $1,178. And this is the same size trading account that I executed the pound dollar trade. So you can see how quick these trades can build up in terms of profitability by trading the US30 and trading the the Forex market whenever there's some decent opportunities. And I go back and forth between the two. Now again, my primary focus is the US30 because it can move relatively fast, and even on a decent little move like this for 100 points, we could earn $1,000 approximately on a 1.0 lot size. So just think about in terms of what you would trade if you were using my trade copier, and that should give you a pretty good idea of what you could expect to earn. Now, the largest size stop loss I mentioned that I would use on the US30 is 100 points. I really don't like going beyond that, but if I'm going to use a 100 point stop loss, then I've got to have a target, and the setup's probably going to be on, let's say, a 30-minute time frame, a 1-hour time frame, or maybe even a 5-minute time frame, where I could expect that it's going to go 300, 400, 500 points. With the 8-month plan, you can get a second trade copier free, so that you can go over here to Lark Funding, for example, and you can get 2 different trading accounts. And if you get 2 different trading accounts and you link them to the trade copier, you're actually earning twice the profits. So if you see on a trade like this, $1,100, if you had 2 separate accounts, you can use my trade copier and you would actually make $2,200 for today on this one trade alone. Just this one trade alone. These are some of the reasons why I really like Lark Funding. They don't care if you use a trade copier. I've asked them multiple times. You can ask them yourself. You can send them a message here on the Contact Us page. Now, the one thing that I want to warn you about is that if you do not use Lark Funding and you decide to use another funding company, make sure that that broker, or that funding company uses the 8-cap MT4 broker. We're using the MT4 account. That's what works for the trade copier. And you want to make sure that they use 8-cap. So again, go to my website, sign up, go to the sign up page, and sign up for either the 4-month plan or the 8-month plan. If you want to get 2 trade copiers, you get a second trade copier for free for this 8-month plan. And you can add 2 Lark Funding accounts to the trade copier. The maximum that you can hold right now in capital with Lark Funding is $500,000. So you could only get one of these. You couldn't get 2 $500,000 right now. But they are trying to increase it to 1 million. And then at that point, you can add a second one. But right now, what you could do is get, let's say, 2 250s, or let's say you want to start off with the 100, and that's what you can afford. And then later on, you can add the $250,000 account if you want to use your payout from copying my trades, your actual live payout, your cash payout, and then with the profits you can then go up and purchase the 250, and you can use both the trade copiers to execute trades simultaneously in these accounts. And then when Lark Funding increases the total capital that you can hold per client to $1 million, then you can purchase perhaps this one here with your earnings in the future from these 2 accounts. That's what a lot of my subscribers are trying to do, is acquire as many of these accounts as they possibly can, link them to the trade copier, and then let me do all the trading for you. Thanks for watching.